That he posts us. Happy New Year and welcome to the Pizza Pulse. A new year, but the same passion for Kenyan football. As expected, plenty to talk about as clubs prepare for the business end of the season. The mid-season transfer window is now open with teams strengthening, others rebuilding, and several players already on the move. We break down the key signings, the exits, and what they mean for the league. We will also bring you a full roundup of the FKF Premier League, the National Super League, and the Women's Premier League with results, talking points, fixtures to watch in the coming days. This is Pizza Pulse. Informed analysis, credible discussion, and the stories shaping Kenyan football. We are live at the Exponential Media Africa studios, where we have our first show of the season. And I would like to officially welcome two of my guests in the studio. And on my extreme right is Caiphas Kirwa. CK, I think I would have given you the honor of you giving yourself an introduction, but please, it's a new year and I'm very sorry to have to take it over from you. Karibu sana kwa studio. And our other newest, nitaita last bonama kwa show, Kausar, out of the KPL representing Naiboys, karibu kwenye studio. And we are going to get ourselves live on the show. And please welcome on the Pizza Pulse. We're going to find ourselves on YouTube. We're going to find ourselves live on Facebook as we discuss a new year, but the same lovely football show. Karibu sana kwenye show.
Thank you so much.
This is Pizza Pulse, real fans, raw takes, and fearless football analysis straight from the pavement. No filters, no fluffs, just pure passion. Pizza Pulse, feel the game like never before. The transfer window is officially open and the business has already begun. Clubs are strengthening, others are reshuffling, and several players are on the move. And as the season reaches a critical stage, who is getting it right and who may already be regretting their decisions? We have a number of clubs that have had the players moving in and some players moving out. And we're going to sample just but a few of the players who are coming in. And for the start, we have the first player, Gor Mahia, who have brought in Jackson Duang, who has replaced, I would say use the word replaced, Gor Mahia captain, Austin Odhiambo, who had gone to Lebanon. Yeah. We have a few players at Nairobi United. In has come Titus Sematimba, and there is a Hazikimana Muhajiri, there's Roy Okal, kind of vintage, if I'm not wrong. And then there is Mustafa Kiza, then John Juguna. Ulinzi Stars have had Joseph Nyale, Mwinyi Chibato, John Kago, there is Leshan Muitan. Most of these are just midfielders in Ulinzi, and I think we'll be able to have a discussion on the same. Then there is Kenya Police, who have had the first new signing, a coach, yeah, right? Sure. Because I'm told that the Kenya Police coach has come in, and the whole technical bench has kind of been disbanded, and they had Nicholas Muyoti, first of all, who has come from Nairobi United. I think if you're talking about Nairobi United, we have the right person to tell us everything about that. Exactly. Then there is Awesowesu from Visiwani, from Simba Sports Club International. He's come on loan to Kenya Police. Then there is Charles Ouma, who is back from trial. There is Malonga Briok. There is Ives Kutiama and Boamba Jacques. And I think we just have to look at some of these players and see what do you think is their impact. Because there is a lot of questions that you're going to have, especially on on Kenya Police, rather. Yeah, because there is some quarter that probably they have exhausted in terms of the number of players who are foreigners and sort of. So maybe, Kausar, I'll just welcome you to the studio and ask you to give me your opinion generally. Maybe if you want to be a little bit specific, or the whole of this transfer, should I call it saga or sort of, that has happened? Because I think you people must be the ones, Nairobi United, and I say you people must be the ones who have had a kind of busy business during this transfer window.
Yeah, I mean, some players left, Kina Omweri, Bichok, Adams. So we had to fill your space here.
Okay.
So getting these new players from Hazikimana from Rwanda, Kiza from Uganda, these are experienced players. Now wanajua continental football. As you know, tuko CAF bado. And we also had
transfer here.
Yeah, but most transfer in like imetuboesha ni yeah.
Oh, there is some attachment to Moyoti. Seems that the Moyoti was one of the guys who was actually very famous in the dressing room.
Yes.
You'd credit the last few good performances to Moyoti. So I would have asked you what is the way forward, lakini nataka tumalize tu history as transfers. You've mentioned that some of those transfers, and there was a match that my boys had earlier on in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And you please tell me, did some of these players feature already, or probably you're looking forward to them in the subsequent assignments?
No, one made his debut.
Already?
Yes.
Okay.
He made his debut and he was instrumental, like amecheza poa sana. He's Ugandan, anaitwa YB. And amecheza poa because even the free kick Ovela scored, it was yendo alikuwa amefauliwa. Yeah, so he played really well. At least get some few minutes. Kiza, I had allegedly hayuko form bado.
Match fitness. All right.
Yes. And the other guys are new bado, I guess wanaangalia games kwanza. Yeah, they're still getting used to, kukuja hapa Kenya. And
I get that. So probably now that we have got, just remind us that we have Titus Sematimba, there is Hazikimana, Muhajiri, there is Royal Kal, Mustafa Kiza, John Chuguna, and you said that one of the players who's come on already made an impact. What does that mean for Nairobi United? Are they still, because they're still somewhere mid-table, but a few matches at hand compared to the top of the table. Do you think that these players are really going to make an impact? And probably, I think that are we going to have, as Nairobi United, have to get to sign more players?
Also, I forgot to mention Roy Okal made his debut pia, alianza. Kevin Otiende alikuwa kwa game, so he started the match and he really played
well.
Yeah, he played 90 minutes. Yes. And these guys, when you brought in, all of them have experience. And that's what we are looking for, considering to go continental football value. So I think that's massive for the whole club.
You have any idea of any players that have been released out of course, apart from Mr. Nicholas Moyoti? Hapo kwa Nicholas Moyoti naonaga watu na feel tu venye kwanza anaongea imechoma kabisa popo.
He is such a nice coach and an amazing human. I got the chance to talk to him tukiwa Shabana when we won at Shabana. He's such and I wasn't expecting, honestly. I was so sad game here FC Leopards, especially when Aqua second half. But it's football. Some people
you
go
ikifika
time yako, you just have to let people go.
I understand. I get that very well. And I'm thinking that you're talking about a lot of experienced players. I don't know, CK, if I would be very wrong, please just correct me. But I think my research I've tried to carry out my research, and the only thing that I'm coming out with is that this same Royal Kal is the vintage Royal Kal that I've known all the while, still playing football. I think I've known Royal Kal for as long as I've started following Kenyan football. Royal Kal is still playing football. Because I'm to confirm too easy that he was on the pitch and played long enough. Do you think this is something that is very good for boys, CK, that they are bringing in experienced players? Of course, Kausar still on the bench. Nani alikuwa kwa touchline? Salim Ali.
Yeah.
Do you think Salim Ali is trying to make boys have how would I put it? A mixture of rather a cocktail of the young players and the experienced players, because she's talked about them gunning for the continental championship. We of course I believe Next assignment ni Azam.
Azam, yeah, they play Azam
in Tanzania.
the Confederation Cup.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What you've said is just exactly right, and what she has already mentioned, that they are bringing in experience for this particular season. It's absolutely right. You can see how they started off their campaign in the CAF Confederation Cup.
Right.
It wasn't that seamless and that smooth. That you may attribute it to them lacking experience and they know how to go into these particular matches. So when you look at the likes of Akizimana and Royal Kiza, these are the people that have been in the industry for the longest time. When you go hunting, you need those hunters who have know how to pull
the terrain.
Yeah, know the terrain. They know how to pull the bow and the arrows.
Right,
and that is the guys that you've seen them coming in because they've been in the industry for long. They'll teach the youngsters of how to balance when you're playing a continental match this particular weekend,
right,
and you're playing a midweek match in the league. Because remember, they have to chase the number of matches they're playing in KPL.
True.
Not forgetting the likes of Mozartbet is coming up. So
Yeah.
there is a big number of fixtures that are coming up.
So
and you
they
need
need that,
experience
yes.
and you need energy so that they can help even the technical bench with arranging and planning for the next matches and how to kill off matches or win those particular matches.
So you're actually trying to tell me, CK, that the kind of signing yenye Naiboys wamefanya is something that is they're giving a statement that they're coming for the title.
The title, no. Because
ngoja bro. Mbona umetoa emotions hivyo?
When it comes to the title, it's a whole different ball game. But if Naiboy finish in the top 4 this particular season, it's a very big win for them. You know, it's never easy for a club to balance continental football and at the same time chase the league, and you're still playing Mozartbet. Yeah. And you're at a very critical time of the season. Remember, they have to fly away. Remember, they go play Azam. They come back, they play the league match, and then there is still a Mozartbet waiting there. So it needs a very big depth. You remember the last time Gor Mahia did the same when they were chasing, when I think it wasn't Frank Ratal, but there was a coach who was on board at that particular time.
That the Brazilian.
Yeah, so they had to have a squad of more than 24 players.
Zimaria.
Yes, exactly.
Alikuwa na squad ya wale wanacheza alafu the other.
I remember there was a nickname Wakulima.
And then there is wanafanya hii kazi ya
dogo hapa local league, and then there was another squad that was chasing.
Kasa nakuulizaje?
It goes down to squad.
Kuja mata kuongelesha hivyo vibaya alafu kaito umwambie tu kinataka kumwambia kwa akili yako mtoke. Mwambie tu hata kama si matusi. How does he say that of all those signings that the best thing that you guys can ever come up with out of top 4? I mean top yani hata mshinde mpaka na FC Leopards.
Anasikia wivu, unajua ako na mauchunga last season. We are playing cup and they are not. So mauchunga nazo.
Okay, realistically, let me just throw this to you. And what are your ambitions this season? What are you chasing? Are you chasing the Mozartbet, the Confed, or at the same time you're chasing the league? So that from there we can know which cup or which position we can put you for the season.
Okay, we are 7 points off the top for now, and we still have 2 matches in hand. The depth that these players are bringing in, itatusaidia in, managing club football.
Continental football na
yes, itatusaidia hiyo yote. So if this and they're really good, trust me. Like kama leo Royal Okal stepped up for Kevin Otiende, and he played really, really, really well. Lennox played here, and we have so many defenders of Oka bench. Kiza hasn't made his debut. He's a big name in Uganda. So if we have Kiza playing continental football for us, we'll have Kina Prince play local football. And also we are defending our Mozartbet. Yes.
So ushaita mpaka our.
It's ours. It's ours. It's ours.
Tell me something, guys. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the signing of the Nairobi United on a scale of 1 to 10? 1 being the low, 0 to 10, 0 being the lowest and 10 being the highest.
Okay, I will base it on what I've seen today.
Okay, throw me a number.
9.
9.
Yes.
That's too optimistic, man.
Wow.
9.
That is that how good those people are?
They are so good, trust me.
Or is it that KCB was just
well.
off day today?
We talk about that later on, because I'm pretty sure that your part inawasha sana Kausa na umeelewa story ya venye wameshinda nino. Tell me, CK, what is your these signings that you've so had Kausa passionately talking about, and she's very optimistic. She's given me a 9 out of 10 signing because the two signings that came on, the new signings that came on today made a very huge impact in their win this afternoon. What is, on a scale of 0 to 10, what do you think is the impact of these new players at the Nairobi United, being that they have a new coach already, or rather I would say Coach Salim Ali, who is standing in the touchline until, of course, we are given any other statement of the same?
I won't be maybe in the right position to give the actual number because I've not gotten a chance to watch some of these players play.
Right.
But based on the previous experience, the like of Kiza, as she's already mentioned, is a big name in Uganda.
And of course, we all know the Royal Carl.
Yeah, we know Royal Carl. He's a good boy. And of course, there is Charles Waibia who came in also, and is being rumored to be a very good name. I believe they have done the right signing according to where they were weak and where they needed to strengthen. But I'll always go back to their biggest miss this season with Nicholas Miyoti. I think the backbone and the heartbeat of Nairobi United was Nicholas Miyoti. Remember, there's a gaffer that came with them from the NSL. He won them a title while in the NSL. It's the same gaffer that went to the preliminaries of CAF Confederation Cup and took them to the next stage. So you can imagine the disunit that comes with him, plus his technical bench going away, and you have to fit in a new manager that has to now start bringing in a new voice in the dressing room. It could be the biggest miss for them, but the best signings they've made, they could have been the best signing they've made, but the biggest miss will be Nicholas Miyoti.
All right, thank you very much, CK. I think I wanted you to give me a number, but you've given me more than just a number. Your optimism is always very welcome. I want to move straight away to the Kenya Police. And the Kenya Police, the first person tena mwenye ameingia Kausa still on the spot, Nicholas Muyoti. Roho yako naona inasumbuka ukiona hiyo jina kwa screen yangu, pole jo. And then there is Islander Wisowesu kutoka Simba Sports Club International. There is Charles Ouma, who is back from the trial del Malonga Briok. There is Ives Kutina, then there's Jacques Boamba. Out, imetoka Josh Onyango.
He was still at police?
He was still at police. Kuna Gideon Muyadi, kuna Exos Missouri, kuna Mosengo, Tansele. Most of these players were Kenya Police. Una realize that are the ones who have exited, especially, of course, apart from Josh Onyango, are foreigners. And then there's a big number of foreigners pia wenye wamekuja, of course, apart from Charles Ouma and Nicholas Muyoti, who is on the technical bench. Please tell me, from these players, I just want a straight answer that among these players when you know walk in, nani when you come in Kenya Police transfer, nani ana walk straight to the starting 11 ya Kenya Police?
I think for me it's Awesu. He comes in with a big experience, having playing for the big boys of Tanzania. That is,
and also Simba, with the mentality of the continental football.
Exactly, mentality of the continental football. At the same time, I always believe that other than Kenya, Tanzania is also good in shaping foreign players. So by the time you say foreign players shaping in Tanzania, it means it's good enough, especially Simba and Yanga. So by the time he's landing to Kenya, I think it'll be quality more than what we've had and what we've seen.
Being that he's a player who can play on the wing, either of the wings, and then offensively.
Exactly. Yes.
And also deep in the midfield sometimes. Yeah. So that's I think it's a massive signing, not just for Kenya Police, but also the Kenyan Premier League. He's going to get a lot of exposure because you see, I'm thinking that the Tanzanian fans will all, especially the Simba fans, they always want to track their player.
How they are performing on.
And by the way, I think I've watched a few of the vlogs of the Tanzanians, and they are talking so much about the player coming into Kenya, and they have followed so much police.
Yeah, you see
and
that.
When you follow police, then being that they're the champions, then you'll have to follow Gor Mahia, you have to follow.
The Ingwe that
the Ingwe, Naiboys, the newbies, and you see, it's kind of something that is already giving us a statement up with maps.
Yeah, and that is what I normally say. When you ship for the right players from the right place in the continent, you're marketing your league. Because now, if, for example, let's say you're shipping a player from Angola. Those fans from Angola will want to.
They'll always want, and that has some sort of exposure.
Yes, and that is how you can market your league. You can use it by shipping the right players from different players. We don't need to concentrate all the players like what Gor Mahia is doing right now, shipping all the players in Ghana. We have to spread these players from maybe Ethiopia, Uganda, the same. You are marketing your league unaware. And for me, the biggest win for Police FC is Nicholas Muyoti.
Nicholas Muyoti is the biggest win for them.
Hold
that thought right there, kwa sababu Kausa rashaanza kupiga ya. Acha Kausa fanya we hadi sikuulize swali yote. Wewe sema tu kitu unataka kusema about Police Nicholas Muyoti. Just say anything about the transfers that you feel is something that is worth being mentioned on this particular forum.
Yeah, I think Nicholas Muyoti akona yamamwangukia. And we've also seen Yves Kutiama. Yeah, he scored yesterday against Marashuga, and he's signing. He's made an impact in the first few minutes of the match. Though they drew, like you inakuonyesha what he has to offer and what Kenya Police fans have, like wanategemea from him. Yeah,
right.
And as he mentioned, Aliawesu, I think he's a massive signing for them here, and of course, Anna fit in any like squad. Yeah, so he will fit into the police team.
He's very versatile. Then I want to look at the Ulinzi stars. There is Leshan Muitan, there is Joseph Nyale, there is Munyi Chibato, and then there's John Kagu, players who have come in. And Ulinzi, I think, still bado wako wana struggle. They have not come in so much. And I think that maybe they are trying to get some of these players, because you realize that Ulinzi stars, they always have that some of their players who are always going to go out for military training and everything. So I actually feel for the coaches and the technical bench, because it kind of lacks, makes us have a lack of some consistency.
Exactly, absolutely. For Ulinzi, coaching for Ulinzi, if I were given a chance to be a gaffer in Ulinzi, it will be a very tall,
difficult job.
Because you see every now and then, after some few months, you've had a player for 6 months, you are being told that he's supposed to go for training because he's owned by the country, but not you as the coach.
I'm asking, is that the same reason why Gor Mahia are actually running for Paul Okoth? Because umesikia Ulinzi nikaona ni kama umepigwa na pressure kidogo. There is this kid, this prodigy Paul Okoth. I mean, he's a top scorer actually with 9 goals. Of course, former Gor Mahia Migori Youth. Amekuja hapo hivyo. He's been doing a lot of good job for coach Steven Ochola. Do you think he should be at Ulinzi ama aende atafute somewhere better? I'm not saying Ulinzi is bad, but somewhere better where he can express himself better in terms of football.
Can I juggle you back and take you back to the time of, do you remember Stephen Waruru?
Of course, Waruru best.
Yeah, and of course, Kasaya. Some of the few people that were in the military, but they chose to just
play football.
Play football. So for me, the boy, if I were to give him advice, he's a very good, talented kid that could even go abroad. But you remember, he's a soldier. So if I were him...
He's already in the forces.
Is he?
I bet. No, I'm not 100% sure about that.
But you know, sometime later you'll have to be.
Yeah, he will have to be drafted in the military.
Just the same way it has limited... remind me there, number 10. Mushiri.
Malianchi.
Yeah,
Boniface Mushiri.
So you see, these are player that you know that has the potential to go abroad, pursue, but again, because you are in the military, you'll have to be limited. But let's see. The transfer is still open. I believe. Gor Mahia, we can always go for. I wanted to say I'll give Owalo a call, but I'll let him do his thing.
Unajua venye unaishi ukiongelea story ya Gor Mahia, naona ni kama Kausar hataki kusikia hiyo mambo kabisa, because you are team Gor Mahia. And the boys have a sort of beef to settle, because there's a match that you people abandoned some time back in Dandora, and we're definitely going to talk about that when the right time comes. And I think we're going to run straight away. I think, do you think, Kausar, asking you specifically, that these Ulinzi are going to kind of make a statement somewhere mid-table? Because to be realistically honest, unless a miracle happens, I don't think Ulinzi are going to gun for the big trophy in the KPL this season, in the Sport Pesa League this season. I'm asking, do you think they're going to have a decent finish, or they're going to struggle at the bottom like they did last season? Despite the signings and probably, actually they changed coaches midway when Coach Steven Ochola came in. Do you think they're going to make a statement this season?
Okay, they can, kwa sababu hata like ukiangalia K-Sharks, if K-Sharks win 3 matches in a row, they're off.
Relegation.
Yes. So same as Ulinzi, it will just take a few wins, like 2-3 wins, for them to climb up. But with their striker banging them goals na wako kwa hiyo position, is just, you know, it's hard to see, kwa sababu if your striker is banging them goals, unafaa kwa huko juu, but you guys are struggling huko chini. I feel like kwenda military pia, it's a massive loss for them, kwa sababu unapata wanakosa adima players, so they will rely
so
on,
they have to try and rebuild the game.
Exactly. And the season inaenda mbio, so you don't even have a chance to rebuild anything. If you're not ready, you're not ready. So
because I'm also sorry to interrupt you. Onaga, there is always a level raia, if I would use the word that in quotes when you're wanacheza ulinzi, because there's a specific number of them that have to be there. Like they don't have to have a whole cauldron of them. Kuna specific number ya raia wenye wanakuja kucheza. Maybe do you think it's a conversation we should be having now that ulinzi wanafaa ku have to increase the number of these civilian players so that they can, because ulinzi ya kitambo bana nostalgia inakuja ukiona wakina Erika Pool wakina Kokoyo wakicheza ball na Gor Mahia Super 8 pale, there was always something ulinzi ukisikia hiyo jina unastuka kwanza. But saizi ulinzi wanakuja napigwa kwa tu na watu tu hivi. Me doesn't go well with me.
I feel that the same breath that you've already said that they need maybe to restructure and change, and I also feel they don't have a good feeder club. The feeder academy. If they would have academy that feeds them well, then that transition wouldn't be a problem when 2 or 3 senior players have gone for training. You can easily go back to the academy, pick 2 or 4 players, bring them in, so that they can help you to steer the ship as you wait for those who have gone to the military training to come back. Because you see, and also Benjamin Anyimba used to do, Nyangweso used to do a very good job in the past, because there was a way he used to make that squad as big as possible. Yes, I'm having these ones that are civilians and these ones are military. But again, the pool to pull from, the players, number of players to pull from was a very big depth, in that you couldn't feel the impact, even if whoever was going for any training or anything. So as you've said, they need to restructure and look, if they will look for a feeder club, if that is the academy, or they will have to increase their quota in the number of civilians they have in the team.
There is something also, Sika, you talked about the quota system. That quota system, do you think we also try to move it all to the league, in the sense that there are these foreign players that always have to play in the league, but we are limited by their number? Unadhani kunafaa kukuwa na like your advantage ya ku increase the number of foreign players? Because kwanza hiyo team yenye inavaga green wanapenda foreigners sana. Hawaamini watu wa kawaida. Mpaka wanaenda pale Mombasa wanachukua player moja hatari sana, lakini hawampatii hata namba. Mimi nashangaa. Do you actually feel that we have to increase the quota of the foreign players in the Premier League generally for every team?
For me, it's a yes and a no. It's a yes and a no, in the sense that you see, we are going into AFCON in the 2027. I feel if I were Benny McCarthy, I'd need a lot of local players, a very big pool from the local league, that I can pull in the best players from the local league. Now, I'll take you back to Zesco. You remember there was a time where the Zambian Premier League had a lot of foreign players. That is the time that Zesco themselves were qualifying for CAF Champions League. The same time you had Nkana and Power Dynamos. 3 teams coming from the same league playing in CAF Confederation Cup. And the Zambian national team at that particular time, again, they were performing very well in AFCON. And
is it the time that the Zambian national team actually won the African Cup Nation under Renat? Yes.
They had a lot of foreign players in the league. So there is a sense in, when you have a lot of foreign players in the league, quality foreign players, foreign players,
right,
they might, one, attribute to this, limit the quality of your local players, or 2, stir up competition from the local players.
So it goes either way.
Yeah, either way. But there have to be a very thin balance, in that you don't just bring in foreign players because you want to bring them in, but you look at the number of foreign players you're bringing in. If you're increasing the quota, are they going to improve the level of the league? So it's a conversation that we need to have, but again, let's be astute and very clever with it, because we might end up corroding and limiting the number of players that we are pulling out and producing for the national team come to
Ghana FC. Wakona players ka wote. Otete ameleta a lot of players, but but they tell me if I'm wrong. Is there any other player in Gor Mahia who comes from any other country apart from Ghana?
No.
Lakini ameka fitina mingi anasema no hadi anajua.
But it's true, because you have already mentioned in the show when you were saying that we can't have a lot of foreign player coming from the same country. You're not marketing your league.
What if they're all good? What if they're all good?
They're not good.
Ebu tell me one Ghanaian, tell me one Ghanaian who is not performing. The other day ulisema Ebenezer, ile time alikuwa amefunga halfway.
Ebenezer is superb, Morris is superb.
And I will tell you that Morrison is good.
Yes.
Then kule yule mwingine anaitwa nani? Aliingia asifua.
Asifua. He made a debut yesterday and scored.
So it means that all these
Ghanaian he scored, but man.
But for a striker, Sika, you don't need to do anything. You just score goals.
The level, your hold-up play, how you're bringing others into play, how you're spreading the pass to the wing play, how you are finishing, how you're shooting. Hey, man.
Tell me something, Kasser. I'm very sure that Sika anaona kama yule frog mwenye ameingizwa kwa maji. Anapiga story ya Gor Mahia. Mimi sitaki kupiga story ya Gor Mahia from that angle, but it's you. I want to ask you something. There was this match that was played Gor Mahia yesterday. Actually, they hosted the Moranga Seals under the coach King Monday. King Monday had gone a run of 10 matches unbeaten. Wakaenda pale, and in the 27th minute watu wakaona ni kama sasa Monday amekuja kuchukua mali FC Leopards waliachia. So it came, and then for some reasons they relapsed, and then Gor Mahia wakapata goli ya kwanza, wakapata goli ya pili, and then Asifua akapiga debut yake akapata goal. Kwanza kuna goal moja. You watch those goals, there's a goal pale Gad Matthews alifungwa. Man,
the second goal.
Kasa, just tell me your opinion about this match, and I want to start that conversation, especially the fact that we are looking at league contenders, and then I will come to the Naiboys match this afternoon, and then we're going to talk about AFC Leopards, which of course, Sika, I want you to figure out that match. AFC Leopards walipata Nyagera angekuwa hapa angekuja tuambie ile mambo ya maombi, ile kocha ya maombi. You think about that and tell me, because just give me a quick overview of the Gor Mahia match that happened yesterday at Kasarani Stadium, and then you give me a quick overview of the Naiboys match this afternoon.
Okay, coming into the match, Moranga Seal were unbeaten in their last 5, and they've won 3 and drawn 2.
Yes.
Gor Mahia were unbeaten also in their last 5, but they only won twice. So coming into this game, kulikuwa na hype mingi sana, and the fact that Moranga Seal were on form. And Waidera won Player of the Month, Player of the Month for December. He is a striker who plays for Moranga Seal, and he's been amazing for them. Iyo form enye wako, it's all thanks to him. He bangs goals, like he gets assists, he's the main man. And first half, kusema tu kweli Gor were off. Fidel
already alikuwa anapiga tu vitu zake.
Yes, like Gor were off because nani walifunga bao mbili, and bao pili mlifungwa cheap. Oh my God, that was amazing to see. And then second half ilifika, I don't know what happened. I don't know what your coach I wish nataka kujua. No, the pep talk of the dressing room. Something clicked. 49 minutes. It's 2-2. That tumeanza 2 quick fire goals. Morrison, I don't know if he claimed that goal, like ilikuwa deflection.
But I think maybe kusema, is it about the fielding of the coach? Because unaona somebody made an insight on some football forum that during a halftime, you know, the players in the starting 11 always go to the dressing room, and then the rest of the reserve players warm up, and then you ask yourself. He asked actually that this is the game changer for Gor Mahia, the ones who are warming up here. So now Wakina Morrison, those you know, actually he came out and attacked with 4 strikers, Felix, Ebenezer, Asifua, and then Morrison actually stabilized the midfield in the absence now of Fidel. Do you think kocha aligambo lama ni nini liko mefanyika? Aligambo lama unasema ni hiyo pep talk? Because unajua sasa zingine unaweza ni mtu ni genius, kumbe kuna tu mali fulani ali trip akafanya nonsense, then recover back. So it's not about he just recovered, because to me I feel that in as much as the players when you are hapo kwa Premier League, what in your average, of course you have to agree that a number of them, but Gor Mahia wako na better average players than most of these teams. Unathink ilikuwa ni fielding ya coach ama ilikuwa ni nini kumefanyika about your match?
I think maybe they kind of underestimated Moranga.
True.
And that's why hawakuchezesha the likes of Morrison. And even after, you know, MCL scored their second goal, they had to recruit the whole Gor Mahia wakiwa tu kwa field. Alpha Odhiambo alikuwa like he was the head of it. They recouped and then they started playing better for some few minutes, but Borakasiri could have had that goal. But second half, I feel like those changes iliwasaidia sana and the pep talk pia. And also wenyewe walikaa chini and they were like, oh, we can't be 2-0, like come on, like we need to step up. So second half they came on and you know 2 quick fire goals iliwasaidia massively and then
boosted their confidence.
The 80 minutes.
Do you think also ile kitu yenye hiyo timu ya kinasika inafanyaga ile ya kustua coach fans wanakuja hapo hivyo wanakuambia vitu zote mbaya zenye hutaki kusikia. Even the players actually it's a sort of motivation.
It was yes, even the fans so many fans during the first half walisema they don't want the coach arudi Ghana, they don't want him, why is Morrison on the bench?
Was that the same narrative Bole Kisha?
Yes, no. Full time everyone was like coach back. The coach
he realized this mistake and change. You see, to be honest, for me, I feel
realized mistake yake before change. How long are we going to have this coach changing? Because I think that was the same mistake that this guy did in the match against PS Bomet. Why you rest players by underestimating them? Yes, you have a deep squad. But my question is, this deep squad of yours, how is it going to help you if you don't have consistent players? Fidel Origa is one who comes on and then tries to cover up for maybe Morrison or Alpha Chris akitoka relate to ile match ya Shabana. But he is not a starter. You know your depth very well. Huyo anafaa kustart. CK, please just call it the right word, gambling.
You remember what I told you when you were playing against FC Bomet and we were whipped? Humiliated and embarrassed. I said
in front of the whole world.
I said it.
1, 2,
why
3,
can't
4.
you take one match at a time? We are not even dressing a squad because you have Champions League football. We are not even starting. Mozartbet has not yet started. Take one match at a time. You have your best squad. You have your 11 squad. Your 11 players. You know, after this one is exhausted, I can change and bring in this one and this one. Start your strongest squad. They normally say the rule of football is simple. Never do what?
Never change a winning side.
That is simple, and that is what ACNOR is not doing.
Speaking of never change a winning side, AFC Leopards.
They are Ambani brothers.
Ambani Football Club. Inaitwa Ambani Football Club.
Yes, Ambani Football Club.
AFC Leopards are on the form of their lives, man. What's happening at Leopards? I don't think the last time I ever saw AFC Leopards like this, that must have been in 2012 wakina Mike Baraza wakina bana mimi sijaona FC Leopards kama hivi. Those kids are good. Alafu I think ile wakina Charles Okwemba. This is a resurgence of that, a reincarnation of that. These FC Leopards players, by the way, Kausar, if you didn't know, FC Leopard means Abaluya Football Club, Leopards Soccer Club. But that is it. They have something unique, Kausar, tell me. They have something unique that is going on. Can you pick it out? Because FC Leopards walipiga Gor Mahia wakadhani ati nile jogi. Nakumbuka Rama alikuwa hapa. Rama alikuwa optimistic. Mimi nikaona
I was very sure that they are winning. I don't know why.
Ama ni juogi bana. Kuna
labda wanalipa mganga na hatujui.
Tell me something, Kausar. They beat Gor Mahia. But what they did to Tusker was not good.
Yeah. That is a total big humiliation that I didn't see coming. I don't know. Is it Tusker? The level of Tusker has gone down. I'd say the same. The level of Tusker has gone down because
the level of Tusker has not gone down because if you look at the quality of the Tusker players, sio chache. Tusker have that combination yenye Kausar alikuwa naongelea, wanataka na boys alikuwa na combination ya combination ya experienced players na wale watoto wachanga who have a skill. Unaona Tusker kuna the likes of Kapaito, there was these are defender ile defender wa Tusker alikuwa Gor Mahia akarudi Tusker ni nani? Momanyi Charles. That experienced players who are there and they are youngsters who can tell me something, Kausar. When I want to kuuliza, do you think FC are just good ama they happen to be on a run of teams that are on bad luck?
No, I don't think so. Like Beleni, if you could have asked me, ningekwambia like they will fall. Like it's just FC, we know them, wanakuwaga number 1, then they drop points and whatnot. But this
hapo kwa FC we know them na nitaomba nikatiwe. We use it against you. Anyway, please, I'm sorry for the interruption. Proceed.
I for now, like what I've seen, how they played, I think KK Homeboyz iliwapasa pabaya. I don't know how they lost that game.
They've always lost to Homeboyz.
Yes, I think hiyo ilikuwa kind of like a wake up call because against us walicheza, naweza sema tulikuwa pabaya because you know the speculation about Coach Muyoti and whatnot, the players were not mentally
well. Playing unit,
I was
right?
like, okay, maybe wametupata bahati, but their match against Tusker, they were just
too good.
They were too good. And I think it's only yes, Madada is
unimaginable things in the midfield, man.
Yeah, that kid is a star. Alitufunga iliniuma bado mpaka sasa. And but I feel like rivalry aside, Gor Mahia should take FC Leopards as a serious title contenders. I think they are massive, like kabisa 100%.
Angalia ile kamera alafu urudie hiyo statement.
Gor Mahia fans, you guys should take FC Leopards as a title contenders. They won't drop, they're not going anywhere. They have the same number of points as you guys, though mmecheza one more match more than them. I think Gor Mahia wameshow a lot of inconsistency. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, true.
They draw so many matches before, you know, winning. Unnecessarily, yes. And against Shabana, mlilemewa. I'm not even gonna lie, mlilemewa.
I was waiting for you to bring that up.
Yes, but me sahi ndachukua FC Leopards as a title contenders. And I think everybody should.
Sure.
Yes.
She said that, but TK, I think we're doing well, and most of the matches that you're playing in the Premier League this season, we have to admit that are actually matches that are competitive. Yeah, we are seeing competitive for the first time. You believe you me that and last season until hizo siku za mwisho they just one team who had already run away with it.
Yes.
And believe you me, this season I am also feeling that there is that sitting on the edge of your seat when you see AFC Leopards play. They are unpredictable. Yeah. I think from 1998, that is 1998 mpaka saizi, I think I've had a serious person talking seriously that AFC can be title contenders. But you know, nobody has said that for a very long time. Like hakuna mtu mwenye amesemaga that chunga sana. And I feel it because you see those kids playing in the field. There is something massive that is coming out. Do you actually believe her statement first of all?
Yeah, true. It's
is
actually
it exciting?
It's actually very
that
true.
Gor Mahia or maybe Tusker actually finding giving us excitement in the pitch. To
put rival aside, sheer honesty, there's something that FC is doing right. I want you to look at the number of matches they've lost. Who has lost the least match in the league?
It's FC Leopards.
Yeah, it's FC Leopards.
I didn't have those statistics.
They have lost. Sure? FC Leopards have lost the least matches. FC Leopards more than
yes. Apana.
Yes. The only thing that is killing FC is the number of draws. You can go ahead and confirm. They have so many draws. They have so many draws.
Uko sure what asleep?
I don't see. FC have lost 2 matches, I think. If I'm not wrong. They only lost to Kakamega Homeboyz and they lost to someone. I think it's Marashuga. They've not lost to anyone.
That is something that is very beautiful for Kenyan football,
yes,
of course.
But now, the one thing that if they could turn their draws to wins, they could be very far ahead.
And I think they've already given. They've already given that particular statement of trying to show us that these draws are not working well for them. And Coach Ambani is actually doing something massive. I think he has enough depth, if I'm not wrong. He has enough players in exact departments. Every department there is confidence in moving the ball forward. Because CK, I think I watched the match that I didn't watch the Tusker match against FC Leopards, but I watched the match against Gor Mahia, and being that Gor Mahia has good players on book, and FC Leopards literally ran Gor Mahia down. Yenye nakumbuka by the way, Si uongo. Gor Mahia were just lucky to have lost 1-0 to AFC Leopards.
We were mourning.
They literally rained down
No, we were
Gor
mourning.
Mahia.
We were mourning. We had lost a patron.
So
you see,
actually, I've lost 2 matches.
Yeah, they've
Gor
lost
Mahia
only 2
lost
matches.
3.
Yes,
Yeah.
against KK Homeboys and Marashuga.
And
And
Marashuga.
also wako na hii fighting spirit that
Yeah.
you don't actually see in so many teams. Against the Mashemeji
The Mashemeji
the
derby.
Mashemeji derby, they were winning the second balls. And you know in football, if you're winning your second balls, you're better than the other team.
yeah, true. The 50-50 balls.
The 50-50 balls are massive. And they've done that. And wako na hii fighting spirit. Wakienda forward, they are going as a team. Wakirudi nyuma, they are defending as a team. If one person scores, like mwingine ata assist, like it's such a, like
It's a
wako na
unit.
this unity,
Yeah.
and you're like, we are not seeing. And let ni title contender. Hivyo tunaweza
I
sema.
never actually came to realize that there's going to be a time that I'm going to find somebody, or I will be sitting in a forum where somebody or a group of people
A praising FC
passionately talk about the
FC
prospects that AFC Leopards have.
And again,
Man, times are changing.
Aside me ni fan wa Naiboys. Iliniuma they scored against us,
And that
especially
makes it-
Madada.
that makes it even
But
worse.
it's football. If they're good, they're
And
good.
Mugala mwe lakini
Yeah,
yake yake
Kiagimpe. And maybe just to tell you something that I always believe works in football. When you are sitting at a good position on the top of the table for a long time, psychologically it gives you a very big boost. I'll give you how Napoli had a run to winning the title. They sat on the table for a long time.
Yes.
Remember Leicester when they won the league?
Yes.
They sat at the top of the table for
And
a
then
long
they
time.
began to dream.
It's
Yes.
the same thing with the police last season. When you sit at the top of the table for a long time, now the belief comes,
Sema
the,
ndio kidonda kusema.
the strength comes. you now know that you can win the league. Oh, so you stop doubting yourself. You can challenge. You see, and that can affect a team like, let's say, for example, a team like Gor Mahia that is used to sitting there. It could hamper them more than it could build FC Leopard to challenge Gor Mahia for the title.
All right, the road to the Women's Africa Cup of Nations is now clear. The draw has been conducted and Kenya has been handed a demanding assignment grouped alongside Morocco, Algeria and Senegal. It is a pool filled with the pedigree, physicality and continental experience, setting up a serious test for the Harambee Starlets. We break down the group, the challenge ahead and what Kenya must get right to compete at the highest level. That is, we're talking about the WAFCON, which is taking place, and I want us to just go through the leagues, the groups rather. And we have Group A, which Kenya has been put alongside Morocco, Senegal, Algeria. And then Group B, there is South Africa, Cote d'Ivoire, kuna Burkina Faso and Tanzania. Majirani wanaambatanaga hivi. Anyway, we have Group C, Nigeria, Malawi, Egypt, Zambia. Kuna Group D, where we have Cape Verde, kuna Mali, Cameroon, and Ghana. Let's talk about this WAFCON very fast before we go to the Women's Premier League in Kenya. We talked about WAFCON the last time we saw the the girls did a very good job. They qualified. Yani walifanya tu mambo yao tu kabisa when the team gani, the Gambia.
Yeah,
They brought Gambia hapa kwenye
beat
stadium.
them away.
And then walienda huko.
Big
They did so well. But now that is water under the bridge. We are looking at Group A, Morocco, Senegal, of course Algeria and Kenya. Those are powerhouses in Africa football, of course, apart from the girls who are just emerging, but we must never underrate them. Tell me something, Sike, let me start with you, and then Kautar, I will also have to get your opinion, a very fast one, because my time is running out. Producer ataninyonga hapa kabla kama sita limit yake. Very fast, Sike, talk about Group A specifically and tell me what prospect do we have for the WAFCON.
Just to jump in quick, if they didn't want us to qualify for this WAFCON, they would have just told us. Look at that group. Look at that group. Morocco, the ones hosting.
Powerhouse of Africa
Hosting,
football.
yeah, powerhouse. Senegal, Algeria.
What do turudi? We
It's
have
good
other
anyway.
things to
Let's
do.
go for exposure. The name of girls. We love how it's football. If you
That is not
can,
a nice thing to say.
if you can beat Senegal and maybe secure a draw and maybe a 3-0 beaten score from Algeria, we'll be better off. Because that squad, that group. Anyway, we will see what will come.
In all honesty, tuna underestimate our Harambee Starlets.
That group.
But please tell him.
Yeah.
He's talking about something that is not.
We have so
But
many.
unaona unajua yake the other day he was here and he was praising the girls and he was really raring to go. Sasa tunakuja tunapata pana tu jina tu zimeprintwa vitu in black and white. He didn't even know what Coach Belding has done to the camp, to the girls and everything. Ashakuja ku underrate. Please give me something that is optimistic. Wachana na yeye. Give me something more optimistic, please.
Wame qualify for the first time since 2016. That says a lot. Alone. And waka qualify, that's massive. Like the men's, we are hosting watacheza tu. Hakuna qualification hapo.
No, credit to them. Credit to the girls for qualifying.
And the girls
100%.
Yeah, they can shock the powerhouses. You know, tunapendaga an underdog.
Kinga kama underdog, your mentality still.
Yes. Yes. And we can shock them.
Like, amen. Yes, we can do this.
Yes,
we can shake them. Yeah. We can do
and
this.
And we'll be here cheering them on.
Let's go to camp and put in the effort. We can do this. But remember, we've seen all the officiating that is going on in our host country, like Morocco is participating in the... So that could be a fans' advantage, the officiating. But again,
So which means that I think we can just have a quick overview of this, and then generally I think we are going to get a lot of exposure. We're going to get a lot of learning. We're going to get a lot of experience from this, so that the next time we are coming to the Africa, the WAFCON, we'll have learned a lot about this. And I think that is very much welcome, and we are optimistic much as we are going to be realistic. Let's get a quick wrap up before we actually come to close the show. There is Africa's biggest football tournament showdown that is going down up in Morocco, in the cities of Morocco. We're having the Africa Cup of Nations, which has come down too fast. I think somebody was mentioning that AFCON imekuja kuisha sana. Mimi nashangaa sana. Yesterday Morocco took out Nigeria, something that
It's okay. We'll bounce back.
And also Senegal had a single goal lead against Egypt. And Kausar, if I'm not wrong, you were supposed to be backing Morocco.
Yes, and we're in the final. I actually predicted Morocco. I wanted Morocco and Senegal final. I'm so happy it happened.
Okay, please tell me that you just made up that before you can
No,
place it.
I have a couple of videos I can show you.
I'll be waiting for that, and I'll play them alongside you. So which means that you're some football oracle. You saw Morocco. Okay, fine. Oracle, tell me, who wins in the final, Morocco and Senegal?
Okay, Morocco wanawezangukia fans advantage.
And officiating advantage, of course.
No comment.
She doesn't want to talk about it.
But Senegal can win it again. I'm backing Senegal. I'm backing Morocco.
I'm waiting for the third one because my Senegal, Morocco. So I'm waiting for the third one because sike tunaweza mpata tu chance on get third place. So then Nigeria ndo kucheza na Nakuja number 3 and below.
Yeah. I think Morocco
you think they can play with the home advantage?
The home advantage. And also, someone said Morocco 2025 screams Argentina 2022. Yeah, when all the officials were on Morocco's side. Were on Argentina's side rather. And it's the same thing. Because if you remember, Tanzania were not given a penalty in their match against Morocco, and that was a clear penalty.
And then
yes.
And then again versus Cameroon, there was a lot of elbows that went.
Exactly. So for that reason, let's go Senegal. Yeah. Senegal may fight a lot, and they came back and won against DRC, who were amazing. Like DRC, they played so well the whole tournament.
And they've won honestly.
Yes, and there are so many matches where Senegal came from behind to win. But with Morocco, it's like they're having an easy run, but at the same time, they're playing big teams.
So
that's the
would you rather say that Morocco, in as much as there's enough talent, kuna Brahim Diaz, kuna very good players there in Morocco, would not start mentioning all of them, including Ashraf Hakimi, their captain. Do you actually think that Morocco are not just a good side, but they have a tactical approach in games that is probably going to that has pushed them this far? Alafu hapa ndio mali nafika unasema Fede na kwambia haya tumekuleta mpaka hapa sasa bana, wewe mambo yako imekuja kuisha.
No, they actually do, kwa sababu these players are winners in their clubs respectively, and wako na so many experience. Like
Yes,
they play big
yes.
matches, big pressure matches. So he is play a key part in their final. And also pia tusisahau Senegal pia are the same.
Yeah,
so
true.
itakuwa tough
And the
match.
depth of Senegal
Yeah, at
also.
the end of the day itakuwa tough match.
Right.
Maybe inaweza decide na penalties. Yes, but itakuwa a very very tough match if kina Hakimi step up and everyone else kina Diaz as they are doing. I think they can win it pia. Like it's a 50-50 in all honesty.
It's a good
So
it's a
speaking
good
of
final
penalties, I think
prospect.
as we wrap up, CK, in the next 1 minute or so, I've been cued that the producer Shani andikia closing remarks. Tell me something. Speaking of penalties, do you believe that is where we go? Because Nigeria, a team that you've so passionately supported, actually lost yesterday, and they lost on penalties. Do you think that is the way to go, and probably what has been your most beautiful experience? Just in a quick summary, in a minute, the whole of these Africa Cup of Nations that have been played in Morocco.
So far so good. Morocco has stayed the best. I wouldn't call it the best AFCON, but it's what I expected. There was a lot of negative criticism coming into AFCON. Some pundits saying that AFCON is not the best to watch tournament. I think for me, AFCON, I'm passionate with AFCON, watching AFCON, because I started way back in 2002. And for me, I normally say this is the only biggest stage that African can showcase their talent and their culture to the world. And of course, we've seen what the DRC fan did. We've showcased our culture and everything to the world. And as you've said, I feel it's a good final in prospect.
Right.
Having Morocco play against Senegal, these are the top two sides in Africa currently. And it goes on to tell that our football is growing the way that you wanted it to grow. I see a very tough match, very tactical match from either side, with a very narrow scoreline, a 1-0 scoreline, or maybe a scoreless draw. And it, as she was already mentioned, it could go to penalties. And just a quick one to Kenya Football Federation and Kenya as a country. You've seen the level. That is the level of how AFCON is supposed to be. Come 2027, I hope we've taken notes. I know for the fans, they will always turn up. I hope the federation has taken notes. Makati, I hope you've taken notes. You've seen the quality. You've seen the kind of matches that are being played. The federation, I hope you've seen the organization. And also the country, the president, I know you'll step up, you'll come in through. Let us make AFCON bigger than what it was in Morocco. Let us show Africa that Kenya is there and we are ready to stage a very big tournament in Africa.
I think there was a jab some time back that Kausar actually pulled on you, and she said that ati venye madem sasa wanaenda AFCON, wanaume wanangoja AFCON ikuje, and I don't know, but that is just it, and I'm very glad that we have been here. We're waiting to see what Kenya is going to do in the Africa Cup of Nations as they host it together with the cities in Uganda and Tanzania, the 2027. But first, we have to look forward to what is going to happen in the finals of the Africa Cup of Nations. I want to very much appreciate you, lady and gentleman, for being here. It has been a very great show. We have been broadcasting live from the Exponential Media Africa studios that is on Naivasha Road. We have been broadcasting live on Facebook. We have been broadcasting live on YouTube, and we are the Pizza Pals. This is our first episode of 2026, and we have done very well. We touched on the transfers, we touched on the matches here and there, we touched on the WAFCON and a bit of AFCON, and I'm very glad that I am here with you. If you asked me again, I will always have you two guests in the studio, and I want to appreciate very much that we have had Ward Shorts, who's been with us here on the technicals, director CK. Thank you very much for always being with us here, and that's where we draw the curtain on this edition of the Pizza Pulse. From the transfer window activity to the latest actions across our leagues, Kenyan football continues to deliver stories both on and off the pitch. Thank you for joining us, especially as we kick off a new year after the break. We appreciate your continued support and engagement. Keep the conversation going across all our social media platforms, and join us again next time for more informed analysis and credible discussion. Join the conversation across our platforms on Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. Pizza Pals. You like, subscribe, share, and let us know your thoughts in the comment. This is Pizza Pals. Until next Thursday.
Adios.
Bye-bye. Raw text and fearless football analysis straight from the pavement.
No filters, no fluffs, just pure passion. Pitchside Pals, feel the game like before.